Your food cost should not exceed more than food and non-food cost should not exceed more than 30-31%. Your
Okay.
commercials, especially the fixed cost rent, it should be 10 to 12%.
Okay.
Utility, when you talk about gas consumption, when you talk about your electricity, should not cross 7%.
7%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So everything got a percentage. And if you're good in numbers and you're working on that, it will click for sure.
Yeah. Otherwise, you learn to be good with numbers, right? There's no choice.
You have to be you have to be good with numbers a bit.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's special. My name is Ketan Pandit, and I'm your host. Today, I have a very, very special guest, Vibhanshu. Vibhanshu is the founder of VM Restaurants Private Limited, and they operate over 200 outlets across the country and internationally. What is interesting about Vibhanshu is something I will let him say himself. Vibhanshu, welcome to the show. So good to have you here.
Thank you so much, Ketan. Hi, everyone.
So, Vibhanshu, I mean, I know a lot about you. We've been speaking for the past few months, right? Why don't you give us an introduction about who you are, what you're doing, how did you start with VM Restaurants Private Limited?
So I'm Vibhanshu Mishra. I own 4 brands pan India. The first brand, which is named as Chalu Chinese, which I have launched in 2020. The second brand which I got is the Indian Momo Company, and that I have launched a couple of years back. Third, Wheat Burger, and a very newbie brand which I have launched is called 21 Food Courts. So altogether, I have 4 brands in my in-house, and started my business 4 years back in 2020 with single outlet in Nagpur. And
Oh,
yeah,
sorry, Vibhanshu, you said 4 years ago, right? In the middle of COVID, right? So, in the
exactly.
middle of COVID, it was not, I mean, not everybody started a lot of businesses. The ones that you saw were largely virtual platforms and stuff. How did you think of starting a restaurant business in the middle of COVID?
So the plan was to start before COVID. Unfortunately, I have registered my company in the month of Feb.
Okay.
Unfortunately, none of us in India knew that COVID gonna hit that bad,
Right.
right? But then COVID gave us a lot of strength and a lot of time to do R&Ds.
Hmm.
COVID gave us a lot of people used to crave for outside food, right? People used to crave for Chinese food. People used to crave for any food because
Yeah.
it was all totally locked down. I guess that's something which gives us a lot of boost in terms of numbers and in terms of what we have thought and what we have delivered.
Right.
We never thought that we're gonna do really great in COVID, but the kind of orders we received, the kind of love we received from people where we have opened first outlet was immense. Great.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, a lot of businesses took COVID as downtime to reorganize and re-strategize because nobody knew what this was. The world
True.
had never seen something like this in collective history for the
True.
past 300 years or whatever. And yeah, I mean, I think it's just very, very brave. Um, Poor timing, but you started in Feb and March.
No one knew that,
Ended,
right? The
right?
timing is really bad. Like it was very fruitful for me, to be
Yeah.
honest.
So when you started the first outlet, right?
Yeah.
Learn from it.
I started my first outlet in Nagpur.
Okay.
On The plan was to open on 27 March, but
Huh.
then lockdown happened on 20th of March. So the
Wow.
first outlet I've opened on 13 July 2020 in Nagpur. It's a very small with a very small space of 180 square feet.
Hmm.
You can name it as a pure QSR format in a commercial building,
Okay.
right? But then it clicked so well that within a couple of months, I've opened my second outlet in Bhopal,
Oh,
and that
wow.
too also in the time of COVID.
Okay.
Yeah. The second outlet I've opened in Bhopal was 25th September 2020. And
All
that's
right.
never a planned thing, never a planned thing. It was always thinking first. Best part about what happened that I got 4 months in COVID to do proper R&D.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the best part of it about us happened.
Right.
Uh, Initially, when I was planning to start, the plan was ki, being as a hotelier, we are well trained in food industry. Whatever we'll serve, we'll do R&D on the spot. And
Hmm.
that's how it never worked that hard. So we
Right.
got 4 months time to do proper R&D, and then we have launched our Charu Chinese. And the love we got that we opened second outlet in a couple of months.
Nice. So, as I understand, you're a first generation entrepreneur in your family.
True. True.
So that in itself is a big risk. Nobody trusts a first generation
Yes.
entrepreneur always. And then there's COVID. So
That,
you had double headwinds against you.
yeah. So I was before I launched my brand, I was working with a very well-known brand in India. All right. So I'm a hotelier, right? So the plan was never to be a business person because none of my family members into business. Right? They are from teaching, they are from civil services, and they're working professionals.
Hmm.
A lot of family members also told me not to get into this because this is not a hurdles which we are experienced in. But then
Yeah.
somehow I thought, chalo, I'll give it a try. I was 29 years old. So I thought, let's give it a try. Why not? If I'll fail, I'll fail. At least Monday, I'll not keep something that, I've missed to try this.
Uh,
So yeah, it was tough. It was very tough. A newbie in the business, and I've left my salary, monthly salary, and started my business
yeah.
at COVID. So it did affect it badly financially.
Hmm.
But then how this is life, right? If you want to do something, you have to be very strong enough.
Yeah. And from zero outlets to now 200 plus and internationally,
Right, right. We are the first Indo-Chinese brand.
Indo-Chinese brand internationally, right? So
True.
you went from zero to one, one to two, right?
Right.
I want to understand how that journey happened. How did you decide कि यार अभी एक चल पड़ा है, अभी दूसरे शहर में खोलते हैं? Then when you have five in of the same brand, then you decide अभी नया brand start करते हैं, right? Because
Right.
Indians love Chinese, our version of Chinese. We
Indo-Chinese.
love momos, right?
Right.
We love our burgers. So how do you decide कि भाई अभी I've done Chinese हो गया, it's stable, now I want to start with momos or burgers?
See, the brands which I have, right? In India, there is still a lot of gaps. When you talk
Hmm.
about before us, Indo-Chinese cuisine, so there's a couple of brands who is doing pure Indo-Chinese, not the authentic one. The first is Wow for sure, Wow China, right? Wow, that's a concept of Wow Momos, right?
Right.
So they're established, right? They are still doing. They were the fastest expanding Indo-Chinese brand
Mm-hmm.
in India. But apart from Wow China, there was no other player,
Okay.
well segregated and established brand. Right nowadays there are a lot of Indo-Chinese player coming up, right? There's again a brand called Hong's Kitchen, but they are more into authentic, not an Indo-Chinese version.
Right.
Momos, again, Wow Momo was the only brand which was proper segregated and proper, a proper brand, you can call it. So apart from them, there was no proper player in the market who was doing great.
Hmm.
There are a lot of brands for sure. There's every corner if you go to India, like if in India, any corner if you go, especially in Delhi, in Kolkata, everywhere, you'll find a lot of street vendors, a lot of momos brands are coming up. But a segregated brand was only Wow. So still there was a lot of gap. So any brands which I have launched or I'm doing, either there's a big giant player or either there is no one.
Okay.
Right. The same way happened with all my three brands.
Right.
Chalu Chinese, now we are one of the fastest expanding brand of India. We have opened 200 plus outlets in just say 4 years.
Right.
Then I have launched a brand called Indian Momo Company. Still, after Wow Momos, there was a huge gap. There are a lot of big players. They
Hmm.
are, but they are not that segregated. They are not that, they're not, because only if you're selling momos, that is not at all a profitable business.
Right. Okay.
You have to play with other items too. Third branch which I have called Wheat Burger. In burger mein, there are only 4 or 5 big brands which is really doing good.
Hmm.
Apart, like in that, two is the international brand, McD and Burger King. Apart
Right.
from that, there are a lot of Indian players, Indian burgers players, right?
Right.
But they're not working in that level what McD and Burger King is.
Sure.
So
Sure.
I've launched a brand called Wheat Burger, which where I serve just wheat buns. Now there
Okay.
are a lot of good players. There are a lot of good brands coming up, like good flipping burgers and all. They are into gourmet side. But when you
Right.
talk about QSR, you can hardly name 5 or 6 brands which
Okay.
which actually survived in 5 or 6 years.
Right.
So any
And
brand which I've launched, there were a lot of gap in the market.
okay. So like you good flipping and all, they started just before the pandemic hit, right? Serial
Yeah,
killer. They were one outlet because I know there's a couple of those closer to my house. So we are regular orders. We would order from them regularly, right? Now,
mm-hmm.
if you see, Abhi, they have branches across the city.
Yeah, they have more than 50, I guess 50 plus. I'm not,
Yes.
I don't know the exact number, but they are doing good. They're good.
Right. Right. So you said that the 4 months of COVID gave you time to do market research and audience understanding before you went into a brand, right? So today, if you're somebody wants to start a new food business today, and they know they want to do something in food, but they're not very sure कि कौन सा specific segment है. Somebody might want to do rolls, somebody might want to do fries, somebody might want to do burgers, for example. So how do they start with their market research, right? How do you go about it?
See, the only thing what one should keep in mind that when you're starting any business, just that's what I did. I'm not saying that's a right way or a wrong way people should do it.
Hmm.
Forget about your competitors, first thing.
Right.
You don't have to think about your competitors. Competitors are already there in the market. They are getting established. They are earning. And you are the one person who is starting right now.
Right.
Forget about your competitors. Just focus on your product, the business. When you talk about Justin, when you talk about business, right? Just focus on what you're good at. If you're very much confident about your food, if you're very much confident about your services, it's gonna click. One thing which any new entrepreneur, foodpreneur need to keep in mind is don't rush. You can see
Okay.
lot of brands are coming every day. A lot of brands are launching every day. But they hardly open one or two outlet and they're not properly set, they're not segregated, they're not settled, and they plan to sell franchise. That's
Okay.
the worst thing happening in India.
Franchising
Yeah.
or
You
franchising too early.
too early. Before selling it to someone else, you stay with your baby first. You get to know how your baby cry. You get to know when is the right time when your baby sleeps.
Okay.
You should know each and everything of your brand.
Of
You
course. Of
should
course.
know if something. You should always have a plan B.
Of
If
course.
this menu didn't click, what
Huh.
what was the next step?
Okay.
You have to be very much strong with your menu mix. You have to have a very closer look in your menu for every 6 months. If something is not working, you have to change it. You have to learn something new because
Mhm.
market is all about fusion right now.
Okay.
The more fusionized or the more hygienic or the more delightful, the more tasty food you can make it, it will click.
Sure. I mean, at the end of the day, लोग तो खाना खाने ही आते हैं ना. They want that experience. They want that taste, right?
Exactly.
So my question. So this is when you're started, right? तो start करना है. So what do you say are the top 3 things they need to do when you say market research? What does that involve?
First is your food quality.
Okay.
Second is your commercials, the fixed cost.
Okay.
Third is be very blunt and be very much confident.
Okay.
You're doing.
Okay.
That this is the 3 things which help.
Okay.
Why I'm saying commercials, because that is the only fixed cost in F&B industry which can't be controlled. Rest, everything is controllable. You can control your labor cost, you can control your food cost, you can control your utilities, everything.
Okay. So why do you say it's not controllable?
See, what happened if, suppose if you open any outlet, the sale is 2 lakh rupees and you're working with 3 employees.
Okay.
Your standard staff cost in QSR industry should not exceed more than 15 to 14 to 16%.
14 to 16%. Okay.
Yeah. If suppose you're doing 2.5 lakh rupees sale, and you can't increase your sale overnight. If sale is increasing overnight, it will fire back next month.
Oh,
because
okay.
people do try.
Yeah.
And if your quality is good, definitely you will win a customer. If quality is not that great,
Right.
it's gonna fire back for sure. Right.
Okay.
So if your restaurant is doing 2 lakh rupees sale and next month it will do 3 lakh rupees sale, right? If suppose your assumption P&L is 3 lakh rupees sale, definitely you can't play with 3 players. You have to increase one staff.
Right.
If your restaurant is, you have planned to do a sale of 2 lakh rupees and your restaurant is doing 1.5 lakh rupees or 1 lakh rupees sale, you can't survive. You have to remove one staff.
Okay. So it's constantly balancing, right?
Exactly. You can actually plan your way. You can plan as per the sale. Same goes to utility. If you're taking a proper reading of your utilities, your gas consumption, your electric consumption, you're the winner, right? So everything need to be planned. Everything got a fixed percentage, right? If you're selling any product for 100 rupees, what is the cost price? What is the staff cost? What is the utility? What is your commercials? What is your marketing?
Right.
If you're good with that, you will end up earning 24 rupees, 23 rupees out of 100 rupees.
Okay, that's
Lot of
25%.
yeah, a lot of business we see in India, restaurant like they do look
Hmm.
20 lakh rupees sale, 25 lakh rupees sale, but they're in loss
Okay.
because
Yeah.
there's no one to calculate. There's no one to people think अरे बहुत ज़्यादा भीड़ हो रही है 20 लाख रुपए सेल है
Hmm.
25 लाख रुपए सेल है end of the month they have to put money from their pocket.
Understood. Understood. So market research is not just food taste; it's also this mathematics
Everything, no,
behind.
no food taste, no. See, any old brand, old school brand. Example, I've launched my first brand in Nagpur.
Hmm.
So there were already established player in Nagpur in terms of Chinese. There's a brand called Checkers.
Hmm.
Checkers is a 50 years old brand.
Yeah.
Okay, and they used to sell their noodles for 150 rupees, and two people can easily eat. I can't count Checkers as my competitor.
Okay.
Yeah, people are there because there were no one else in the market. People
Hmm.
like the taste
Understood.
because Checkers, yeah, they are the player who taught Nagpur what is chow mein, what is
Right.
noodles.
Right.
Right? Definitely, people gonna be, people will love Checkers. But
Yeah.
then when you're coming with up with your dish, your cuisine, definitely you're not gonna serve the same recipe as Checkers do,
Of course. Of
right?
course.
So if you got your own recipe, you don't have to, think much about what my competitor is serving, how is their food, what is
Yeah.
there. They
Right.
establish. You work on yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So food, for example, with your Nagpur outlet, right? You started with Chinese. Uh, how did you go and collect feedback from people?
I'll give you the straight feedback. So my the rent was 22,000, just
Right.
22,000. Okay, and I told you, I mentioned before, right? It was never a plan to make this big brand. So first day on 13 July, it was COVID when I opened. The sale was just 800 rupees.
Okay.
But from 14 July till 31st July, I end up having 2.5 lakh rupees sale.
Wow.
First, it was the first month because I have left my job that time. So I was there. One more guy, employee number one, which he's still there with me. His name is Kaushal. He
Hmm.
was there, and one chef.
Okay.
From first month, it was profit because the rent was 22,000. So
Uh,
any property, if you're taking in F&B business, whatever is your rent, into seven is your break even.
oh, okay. Into 7.
Into
Interesting.
seven, into six, into seven, that's a standard thing,
Hmm.
right? Is your break even. So from first month, it was profitable. Second month, the sale was 7.5 lakh.
Wow.
Third month, it was 9 lakh 32,000. I still remember 9 lakh 32,000. So that Nagpur outlet gave me ROI in just 3.5 months. Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, my break even was 1 lakh 50,000, 1 lakh 80,000. That was a break even. If the sale was more, definitely the stock money get increased, right? So
Yeah.
Nagpur outlet gave me ROI in 3.5 months.
And that
Right?
gave you confidence to go to Bhopal.
Yeah. And like within 2.5 months, I booked a new place in Bhopal because it was very near to Nagpur. My plan was if I'm expanding also, I'll carry, I'll make a circle.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So that's how it worked for me.
Phenomenal. And so I about retail and I think food business also, they say that location, location, location are your top three priorities, right?
Hmm.
How do you go about researching ki, bhai, abhi, where do I want to open up a new branch or a new outlet?
Depend upon your pocket. How
Okay.
you want to spend. I left my job and I was having a very minimal pocket. There was no seed funding. There was no nothing. It's still my company is bootstrap, right?
Right.
There's no fund involved from anyone. If you have a lot of money, go and open in metro with a lot of competitors. But if you don't have money, just look for a proper place where there is already footfall. You don't need a posh footfall. Yeah, any local footfall gonna work.
Yeah.
People generally what they do if you're going to Delhi. Let's open outlet in CP. Let's open outlet in Dwarika. Let's open outlet in Rohini or anyway.
Right.
No, you can open outlet next to your home. Start
Right.
with that, right? Why? You're gonna save big on your commercials. Footfall already hai.
Hmm.
You just need to mold that people to come towards you through your food and services and what you're
Right.
serving.
Right.
Location does matter, but when you're starting up, keep your pocket very low so that you can crack break evens.
Right. So
That's what I did.
so keep your costs in check at all times.
Right. Yeah, just a
Keep
second.
it, yeah, but do sorry,
Sorry, yeah.
no problem. So keep your costs in check at all times.
Exactly.
Know your costs, most important, right?
Know your cost is very important.
Yeah. And then the third is that get feedback, right? So
It's
coming back to the
very,
question, right?
the numbers will give you feedback.
Numbers will give you feedback.
Number will give you
Uh,
feedbacks. Nowadays, if you go to Swiggy, Zomato, if you're serving good food, also there are a lot of bad reviews. Bad
yes.
reviews from competitors.
Yes.
The world has changed. It's changed. It is not that what we start when we started working 10 years or 15 years back. If you're serving good food, also there are a lot of bad comments from
Of course.
competitors. There is a lot of if there is a mistake of Zomato Valley, restaurant get trashed.
Restaurant gets blamed. Yes.
Yeah. So the numbers will say it all.
Right. Review collection has now also become a business, right? So can you get
It's a business and customers. So 10 years back, 15 years back, customer used to be loyal. I'll give you example of my father, your father. When they used to go out, they were having fixed restaurant for everything.
That's true.
This is the restaurant where we want to go.
Yeah.
Nowadays, our generation, do you think we have any fixed restaurant which is our favorite? Every time, because every day
Yeah.
there's a new brand launch.
Yeah.
Every time, whenever you go out, your taste bud sounds different. I
Yeah.
want to eat Chinese, I want to eat Indian, I want to eat Arabic, I want to eat this, Mediterranean. So the saying, loyalty wins everything, is no more.
True, true. And times used to be that you go to a bar and they would know your drink, right? They would know you by name. Your drink would come. You go to a restaurant, they know what
Exactly.
you're going to
There's
order.
no more.
It's
Out of
not
100 people, maybe one person will be there who will order every week from you, or 2 or 3 times in a week with you from your restaurant. But then you can't just bend on saying I'm serving good, this he's my loyal customer. No, he will try. If someone is trying Chalu Chinese, they will try Bao China.
of
They
course.
will try Honk's Kitchen.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Right. So taste must change. Everything changed.
Yeah. So I think the key is also to maintain that relationship, right, with your diner. That it's not just that they're coming for the food, it's also the experience and the consistency.
Experience, the way you behave to them, the what you serve to them, what special you're doing for them.
Yeah.
Right. That's matter. That's matter.
Right. And consistency also, right? So you're thinking of, say, a bowl of Hakka noodles, and Chalu Chinese ka Hakka noodle tastes like this, and you start imagining the taste even before you get to the outlet, right? You're
True.
already imagining that, right?
True.
How do you manage consistency across so many outlets then?
See, I told you, right? When we started, we got 3.5 month time to work on SOPs, to work on ingredients and recipes.
Right.
Being as a hotelier, it was not very tough for me because I have worked 15, 14 years in this only.
Right.
But then the same fixed recipe, like if you go to any Chinese restaurant, start from any metro restaurant, any mall restaurant, you'll say all the SOPs, ingredient SOPs stick on the wall. Even if we make our sauce, like example, if you're making a batch of sauce, hot garlic sauce of 5 kg. So every Tuesday in each and every outlet, we do make sauces, right? So everything is written there that if 5 kg batch of hot garlic sauce required 2 kg of water, 2 liters of water, right? So we have logged recipe very strictly, and each and every restaurant follows the same.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how you can control it. Right?
But
only thing which changes is your food cost. Because if you're sitting in Nagpur, your coriander is costing 200 rupees per kg, but the same coriander will cost 300 rupees in Delhi.
That's true.
But the quantity will be same, right? If you're making any sauce, any recipe, the quantity which you're putting is the same.
Right.
But your price changes. So only thing which change is your food cost. Apart from that, if you're following strict SOPs, strict recipe, nothing gonna change.
Right. So do you also have same suppliers across all restaurants?
No, I guess we are the only Indian brand. We don't have warehouse still. We do have a warehouse just for our dry stock.
Okay.
Everything what we buy from locally. We have a fixed vendor every state, every city we go. They are the one who supply. We got a fixed brand for everything.
Right.
Noodles, for sauces, what we use, because we are brand who We don't use any Ajinomoto, any colors, any palm oil in our food.
Okay.
So we got a corporate tie-up with all the, like example, if we get Aromat premium one, which is without monosodium glutamate, we get it from VKL. So we got a VKL tie-up everywhere. They are the one who dispatch pan India.
Okay.
Rest your legumes like vegetables and poultry, it's a local supply, right? So
Right.
yeah,
Right. So you're maintaining consistency at the source.
at the source.
So then obviously it flows throughout the supply chain, right?
Exactly.
The other important component that you mentioned about scaling, right, is your staff, right? So when you had one Chalu Chinese to when you had 10, how did you scale the staff? उनको भी training है, chefs का भी training है. Once is you have SOPs, right? But sometimes it's human nature. You may just make an error here or there.
Mhm.
How do you ensure consistency in staff training? Do you have an in-house trainer who kind of does this?
We do have a training team. We have training outlets. Like example, anyone who is getting hired in North, we have a training outlet in Gurgaon.
Okay.
Right? Anyone who's hiring in Central of India, we got a training outlet in Bhopal. Okay. Anyone is we are hiring in South, we got a training outlet in Chennai.
Right.
So we do have training outlets. We do have people who are working with us from last 4 years, 3 years. So they are in NOC team and they are the one who's training everyone.
Okay.
So yeah, manpower is the biggest problem in India.
Yeah.
To be honest. If I'll say nee, my manpower is perfect, people are there. Out of 500 staff, there are maybe 80 staff or 100 staff who are working from 3 years, 4 years. But when you talk about lower ground staff, commies or helper or housekeeping is changed every month, everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm being very blunt to this.
Of course.
They change everywhere in each and every brand. Because at the end of the day, what they need is money. Everything
That's
has
true.
changed, right? Now, what they need in money, if someone is offering $500 more than what we are offered, they're gonna change the job. So yeah, there's a lot of issues in terms of manpower, but then somehow it get managed because our industry, F&B industry, run through references.
Yes.
It run through references.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, word of mouth, and we got a referral program for all my employees. If anyone is, referring any of the staff, if they're hiring staff from their end, we got a referral program for them. We do, make them happy in terms of the happiness. See, they leave their house, they go out to work just for one happiness is finance.
Of course. Of course.
Right?
And
They want
at
to
the end of
support
the
their
day,
family, they want to support their lifestyle. So we do have a referral program for employees whom we, if someone is hiring staff for us with a
right.
reference, we do give money to them
Okay.
just to pamper them, just to boost them.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And what would you say as the role of technology been, right? So when did you realize कि भाई अभी tech चाहिए because we are growing, and this could be right from back office, managing payrolls, your customer feedback, to front end of staff costs. How do you go about this?
We started like that only. When we started in Nagpur, we have designed our own software with the type of with Paid Puja.
Okay.
Right. So we are using Paid Puja, but we have customized it, we have modified it our way.
Okay.
So from the start, only any inventories or anything, what we are doing is through our software. We being from industry, it was very easy for me to understand that tech is very important part. Yeah. So from the first outlet by which I have launched in Nagpur, we got our own software customized from Paid Puja, and
Right.
we are following that so far. So it got you know it got inventory in it, it got database collection, it got sale entry in it, it got all the MIS report, it got menu mix, everything in it.
Right. And
So
and you have
it's
a
very
team that
important.
manages. Sorry, go ahead.
It's very important to to stick to tech from start.
Okay. And you have a team that manages tech for you.
We do have a team. Now we do. Of course, it's very needed, right? Now we do
Yeah,
have
of course. And all 200 outlets of different brands are on Paid Puja, similar tech stack or different tech stacks depending on the.
similar. But we do have a internal team. We do have an external team. We have a dedicated POC from Paid Puja.
Uh-huh.
They are the one who's taking care of our onboarding,
Right.
offboarding, everything.
Right. So you started.
We have a integration with Zomato and Swiggy through Paid Puja.
Okay.
So they are the one. We internal team as well as external team. We have.
Okay. And have you automated the customer side of things so far? Feedback collections,
Yeah, we do.
campaigns.
We do. So we have stopped giving we do give e-bills to customer. With the e-bills, customer receive a link to give their feedback.
Right.
Yeah, so that's how we do. It's through safe software only, paid puja.
Right. And that works very
That
well.
works. That works.
Who looks at this feedback?
Out of 100, you receive at least 20-25 feedbacks.
Okay. And it comes to you directly?
It's come to my marketing team and to me, CC to me.
Okay. And what's the how fast do you act on it? Because typical
Every
people,
day except Sunday.
huh?
Every day, if you see our Zomato, Swiggy, or Google also,
Right.
we act fast every day.
Okay. Um. So
It's important to win back your customer. It's important to know. See, again, out of 10 reviews, 2 might be bluff. But you get to know.
yeah.
You get to know what you serve. We have camera access. We know what we are serving to food. We can rotate our camera 360-degree anytime, any outlet which we
Right.
have. So we know what we are serving. We can see everything. What customer, what they are eating, what they have ordered. It's an audio video camera.
Right.
What my chef did he follow the recipes or not? So yeah, if it's a genuine feedback, we do try to win customer back. If you like, I'll tell you, I've just opened a recently outlet in Barnala, Punjab. There were a couple of bad reviews,
Okay.
but if you see customer reviewing at 8:04 p.m., we reverted them 8:35 and 9:15 or 9:20. We got revert from customer. It was wonderful service. The second time, the taste was really great. So
Fantastic.
that's a responsibility of the area head, the area coach who's handling
Right.
that outlet, who's handling that part.
Right.
It is very important to win back here. Again, we already have marketing team on board,
Right.
in-house marketing.
Okay. And
Yeah.
and how are you going about marketing about your different brands? How are you doing the balance?
To be honest, we didn't spend anything on marketing so far, not very much,
Okay.
because the plan was very clear. It's a bootstrap company. The money which I'll spend on marketing, I'll open one outlet
Okay.
and I'll generate revenue.
Right.
Now, when we are established, now when our financial is established, now we want to establish our each and every corporate team,
Hmm.
right? So any outlet which you'll see of Chalu Chinese opening after November, it's gonna be boom,
It's going to be?
boom, like in terms of marketing.
Oh, nice. Okay. So
Yeah.
we'll hear a lot more about Chalu Chinese
Yeah. So
and other
see, when
brands.
you plan, like till the time, see, I'm not claiming we as a Chalu Chinese as a very big brand. We are turning to be one of the brand in India, but
Right.
it needs a lot of planning, need a lot of clear roadmaps to achieve that. So instead of spending on marketing, I tried spending on expansion.
Right.
Yeah, I'm generating revenue now. When I see my back is strong in terms of financial,
Hmm.
now I'm doing marketing and now I'm expanding towards metros and I'm capturing all the cities.
Right. Right. And metros, there is no other choice to break out of the clutter unless people know, right?
Exactly. Your presence matter. Your presence matter.
Presence matters and people need to constantly keep hearing about you, right? So now that you have 200 plus strong, right? From a marketing perspective, where do you see you spending money? What channels do you think will work for you?
Offline, online, both. That's what we were planning. Like before this, me and my CEO and our ABP marketing, we were talking about this. What's the exact planning of spending money?
Okay.
Start from print media, start from digital media, everywhere we want to spend now.
Right.
Which we have done some marketing before, not that great. We have not didn't spend it that much, but now it's time to spend a bit more and let people know that yeah, there is a brand exists called Charlie Chinese.
Right. Right.
Right? So that when they see how many outlets Charlie Chinese got and where we can visit nearby, the more marketing you do, the more people will know about brand.
Of course.
So once they see Charlie Chinese near me, they can visit. They might have visited our outlet, but we haven't done that marketing, so they don't remember.
Of course. Of course. Because
So now we are planning a big way in terms of marketing everywhere.
right. Right. On an average, every person who's stepping out of home to work gets bombarded by I think 3,000 ads a day, right? That's the number of brands you see a day. So to remember that out of 3,000 a day, it's not easy. It's just the consumer is also overwhelmed, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so now we've understood about the back end operations, staff, tech, training, scaling, and on the front end we've heard about marketing, which is just going to start. Feedback crucial, right? In the middle of these two things, at your scale comes data.
Yeah.
right? Insights. So if you have 20, 25 outlets of Chalu Chinese and you're looking at a whole, what kind of data do you look at? Because if you don't know what you're looking for, you'll never find it, right? What do you look for? What have you started looking from day zero that you still look at?
Yeah. If suppose I'll give you example of North.
Hmm.
Okay. When I have entered North, like just say 6 months back.
Hmm.
Okay, we were expanding in central India and in south part of India. I don't know. It was a very, when I'm expanding in North now and people are knowing us that there is a brand called Chalu Chinese. People knew us, but there was no outlet in North.
Okay.
All right. Once I tried entering North from Amritsar, and I was not in, it was very unknown city for me. Like I've been to Amritsar. I've been as a tourist.
Hmm.
Right. I never knew the culture exactly, what people like, what people don't like.
Hmm.
But then when I saw that there is no competitor here, right, and our food will click, that's what I was looking for. That any North India outlet, if I'm expanding, it should give people a feel of roadside Chinese food to our counter,
Okay.
right? And that's what it clicked in North, especially. People in North, like there are a lot of momos vendors sitting outside,
Uh,
right? They are serving momos. There are a lot of brand who is selling momos, right? Start from Wow Momos, Persuma Momos, everywhere. My challenge was that I have to click my Indian Momo company or Chalu Chinese to their taste bud, and people should enjoy. People should pay less to eat momos. Like example word is like the same street side Chinese or momos people can enjoy in Chalu Chinese and Indian Momo company with more of hygiene
hmm.
and with at the kind of same pricing. Like
Right.
outside, if you go to Delhi, right? Um, if we eat 8 pieces of momos, right, the cost will be never 70 rupees, 80 rupees. Same as our cost. We serve chicken momos and 87 rupees, 8 pieces. Right?
Okay.
That's what the plan was before entering any city, and it clicked somehow. So yeah.
Okay. And from a operations perspective, at the end of the day, when you're looking at business or dashboards, what number are you looking at? Are you looking at total revenue done?
Yeah, it's very important to look at the
Of
revenue
course.
exactly when
Of course. Of
expanding.
course.
And yeah, uh, we do take care of the sales number. We believe in like whatever expansion so far we are doing. As I mentioned, it's a bootstrap and it's non-funded company so far,
Yeah.
right? So the only survival for us is to do good numbers,
Of course.
and that profit we are using and utilizing and expanding the brand.
If you don't mind my asking, how much did you start your first outlet with? And you
14
feel
lakh
free to say
rupees.
no. Sorry.
You can actually it see कुछ छिपता नहीं है.
Uh,
14 lakh rupees, 1 4. As
one,
though I was having money, so
uh,
when I left job, I was having 44 lakhs in my account.
uh,
Yeah, so I spent it 14 lakh to make that outlet. Though when you start, anyone who start outlet, no, anyone. So if I'm Italian, I think yeah, मुझे सब कुछ पता है. I know everything in this world.
hmm.
No, I'm wrong. I know food. I know service. I don't know BD and interior team. I don't know how to basically maintain, how to make outlet. I don't have experience in project.
Yeah.
The same outlet which I have made Nagpur outlet was the first outlet. I spent in kind of 14 lakh rupees to make that outlet, 180 square feet. The same outlet I make it in 7 lakh rupees nowadays.
Oh, wow. So you obviously have become much more smarter about what you need, right?
Yeah, yeah. So 14 lakh rupees I've spent in Nagpur and registering company and getting all the licenses, all the trademarks, at most probably like 16, 17 lakh rupees. I
Right.
started that with.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what the first spend. Because it was very clear saying, like, whatever money you're spending on making outlet as a capex, you should keep that much money only in your bank account to survive.
Oh, okay. So
Most
don't.
of the restaurants close because of this. No, if you have 100 rupees, people spend 99 rupees on making outlet to make it look good, to make it this, to make it that. And they keep 1 rupees as a OPEX cost. That fires back. And
Yeah.
that's how restaurant close if you run for 2 months. If your restaurant hits you bad, it's not performing for 3 months or 4 months, you don't have money to spend. You
Yeah.
don't have money to survive. And that's how restaurant close.
Yeah. Restaurant generates its own, right?
If you have 40 lakh rupees, spend 15 lakh rupees, keep 25 lakh rupees with you to survive. You never know, your restaurant might click after 6 months.
Yeah.
But any business need at least 9 to 12 months to perform. Any
9 to 12
location
months.
need that much time. Yeah.
If you survive that long, that is.
If you survive that long, and that only survival is if you are keeping your financial bit strong.
Yeah.
You should know your cost. 14 lakh rupees, 15 lakh rupees you have spent to as a capex in your outlet,
Right.
and your monthly cost is your OPEX is 2.5 lakh rupees per month.
Right.
Keep it for 6 months. Keep 15 lakh rupees
Fantastic
with
point.
you. That's how you survive.
Fantastic point. And you mentioned that, the biggest mistake you could make is probably tell yourself that I know everything. मुझे सब
Yeah.
पता है.
One should not do that.
हाँ. So in your case, did you have a mentor you went to say, यार सर बताओ ये अच्छा idea है कि बुरा idea है? Did
Yes,
you
yes, yes.
somebody like that?
I have learned. See, I was not in India for around 10 years.
Okay.
So I started my career. I've completed my IHM from West Bengal, Kolkata. And then I've started doing my hotel operation training in Nagpur Pride. That's how Nagpur came in picture.
Right.
Because I started, my first job was Nagpur.
Okay.
So when I planned to do business, it was very clear that I want to open in Nagpur because that's where I started my career from.
Right.
Then I left India. I was not in India for 10, 11 years. And then I started working with the brand Wow Momo. So I'm ex Wow Momo. I was working with Wow China. I've learned a lot of things from Sagar Daryani.
Mm.
Again, when I was internationally, when I was working with Tim Hortons International in Dubai, there's a guy called Mr. Sachin Pradhan. He's the, you can call it a biggest cheerleader of my life.
How nice.
The mentor, like he is now 56, 57 years old, and he's still with me. Still with me. He is based out of Dubai, but every second month he's there in India with me for 20, 25 days.
Yeah.
Okay. And the biggest cheerleader of my life, the biggest mentor of my life.
Yeah.
And whatever I have done, whatever I have learned is in his guidance. Okay. Though he was a corporate HR and training manager for Apparel Group, which is Tim Hortons, Aeropostales, Cold Stone Creamery.
Mm-hmm.
So he was leading GCC. He was a corporate. So he's the biggest mentor and a cheerleader. You always need a mentor, and you have to listen to them.
And I think you would make a great mentor.
I
Yeah, absolutely.
let me cross that age. Let me be first. Let me be a successful entrepreneur first.
I'm sure after this conversation, a lot of people are going to come to you for advice. I think that could be a good
Most
start for you.
welcome. Anyone most welcome. That's what I said. I'll be very blunt, but I'll give you right suggestion. Whatever I have been through, I'll give you
Yeah.
the exact same situation and scenario. And yeah,
Because always good to have somebody like you in your own court, right?
it's very important to guide people in a right way. You never know that anyone who's starting business, they might have just 10 lakh rupees. And that's the 10 lakh rupees. Maybe, that person, he or she might have collected that 10 lakh rupees in 5 years with savings.
Yeah.
And you just can't play with it.
Yeah, very, very, very kind and very conscious words.
In
So
business, every single money matters. वो
absolutely.
कुछ भी ऊपर नीचे होता है ना तो आपका फूल बोलता है.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's how entrepreneur should be. Doesn't matter how big you are. Doesn't matter if you're having 10,000 per CR company. No, you should feel the loss. The day you will
Pain of
stop
the loss.
feeling loss, why? See, market is all about seed funding,
Yeah.
VC investments. Market is all about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it looks very बहुत चकाचौंध लगता है कि अरे VC funding
हाँ,
नहीं.
but then वो उतने जल्दी नीचे जाते हैं. अभी आज के, I'll tell you one thing. I'm sitting. It's been 4.5 years. I'm sitting with 200 plus restaurant. I can raise funding anytime.
Yeah,
But then I should know my baby first.
of course. Of
I
course.
just know my baby 80%. There are a lot of things to learn. That's why I mentioned that we have hired marketing AVP, right? We have hired vice president of marketing right now.
Right.
There are a lot of things which I want to learn from her.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I'm not ready yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a mindset.
Selling your baby to anyone and earning is not a right way for me.
Yeah.
My baby will remain, if ever I will raise funding also, my baby will always remain my baby.
Thank you so much for your time, Vibhanshu. This has been phenomenal. Very enlightening for me. I'm sure it's been for everybody else. And
Thank you.
yeah, thanks for taking out the time and joining, guys.
Thank you for
See you
having
in
me.
the next
Ketan. It
episode.
was great. Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.